The US economic system is inherently violent. People normally think of homicides or assaults when they think of violence. They don't think of things structural like poverty, shortening your lifespan. If you make $30,000 a year, your life expectancy is roughly 10 years lower than somebody who makes $100,000 a year. Right now, unemployment's 4.6%, labor force participation 61.9%. Even if you throw out the roughly 20% of the population who's retirement age and pretend they're retired, even though they're not, your actual unemployment's something like 22%. We have the fiscal capacity to lift these people out of poverty, establish social safety nets so that when the over 25% of the country who spends over 95% of their income on necessities falls on hard times, they don't fall into abject poverty, drastically shorten their lifespans, and die. But we don't fix those problems, so the US government and economy is implicit in those deaths. That's state sanctioned violence. Just like with healthcare, we could have a single payer healthcare system, we could have Medicare for all. Yale, other universities, other organizations have said we would actually save money by doing this, but that would hurt private insurance companies' profits. They lobby our politicians, and so nothing happens, even though over 45 to 68,000 US citizens die every year from lack of medical coverage. That would be the eighth leading cause of death in the US if we tracked it. Now, a certain party who likes to cut corporate taxes has convinced you that undocumented immigrants are a huge threat to the US. They're the number one threat, and that they kill 4,000 people per year. Even though that's a lie, it's not even a tenth of the number of people who die due to lack of medical coverage. The real number is 2.2 per 100,000, which at the peak of 14 million is only 308 people per year. They lied to you so that they can get you to vote on identity politics so they can cut corporate taxes while killing you. It wasn't always like this. In the 40s, roughly 44% plus of our federal revenue came from corporate taxes. In the 50s, it was roughly a quarter. By the time Reagan got done shafting us in 83, it was 6.2%. After the Tax Cuts and Jobs Act that the Diddler passed, it is now, as of 2026, 5%, with over 50% coming from your income taxes, and us generating so far this year about $1.25 trillion. Keep that in your head. Warren Buffett says if you tax the top 800 companies at the 21% corporate rate with no loopholes, you can eliminate income taxes. The Diddler says if you let him tariff, he can eliminate income taxes. Let's see who's the brighter economic mind. Well, 2025 tariff revenue was $264 billion, minus the $130 billion we had to give back to the US companies who actually pay the tariffs. So total revenue was $134 billion. Remember that $1.25 trillion number? Yeah, more than 9.3 times higher, and we're not even halfway through the year. He was never going to get rid of your income taxes. It was all a ploy to generate just enough revenue so that they could cut corporate taxes again, so that they could kill you and call it kindness.